Hi, my name is Isabella DiNardo, and I'm an undergraduate student at the University of Utah. So, my research centers around a summer program offered by the university called the Genomic Summer Research for Magnificence Internship Program, or the GSRM for short. So, to give some background as to what led to the creation of the GSRM program, I would first like to highlight this graph, which illustrates the racial breakdown of participants in genome-wide association studies. Specifically, this was done from 2006 to 2018. So, as we can see here, the vast majority of genomic data sets are derived from European populations, despite Europeans not making up that big of a proportion of the global population. So, as a result, there has been a greater need for racial and ethnic diversity in genomic data sets, as well as representation in the workforce. So, building off of this, the GSRM program aims to provide opportunities for underrepresented and underserved college students to encourage participation in genomics-related research and STEM fields. So, the main focus of my research then is to assess the efficacy of the GSRM program in promoting the inclusion and retention of underrepresented individuals by examining three factors that the GSRM program seeks to strengthen. And these are the understanding of genomics, proficiency in technical skills, and this can involve either a laboratory or computational component, as well as the overall sense of belonging to the scientific community. So before we dive into the methodology and results of the experiment, I'd first like to highlight the demographics as well as the academic and career outcomes of the entire participant population, from which we selected a sample. So since 2019, 63 individuals have participated in the GSRM program. The program itself is open to college students across the entirety of the United States, not just those attending the University of Utah. In fact, the total 63 participants came from home institutions spanning 24 U.S. states plus Puerto Rico. Next, moving on to this pie chart. This reflects the racial and ethnic distribution of the participants and highlights the great amount of racial and ethnic diversity among the GSRM participant population. Out of these participants, I would also like to highlight that 6% had a disability and 89% came from a disadvantaged background. Notably, 75% of the participants were female and 40% were first-generation university students. So moving on to the academic and career outcomes of the GSRM participants, out of the 63 participants, all of them completed the program, and this was done through the help of 35 mentors and 61 co-mentors who engaged in near-peer mentoring as they were closer in age to the participants. It's also important to note that out of the 63 participants, 33% are currently working towards their bachelor's degree, while 67% have graduated and attained their bachelor's degree. Additionally, from those who have graduated, 31% are currently employed in the biomedical sciences, and 56% have been accepted to graduate programs. So, circling back to my objective of assessing the understanding of genomics, level of proficiency in technical skills, and sense of belonging, I carried this out by analyzing pre- and post survey responses provided by participants before and after the completion of the GSRM program, specifically from 2022 to 2024. The pre- and post surveys utilized Likert scales to assess these three metrics, and the sample that I selected was composed of 42 participants out of the 62 total participants. So transitioning to the results, let's first look at the knowledge of genomics assessment. So students were asked to rate their knowledge of genomics on a scale of not at all knowledgeable or slightly knowledgeable, moderately knowledgeable, or very or extremely knowledgeable. And they were asked to provide these assessments both before and after the GSRM program. So the dark blue bars indicate the pre-GSRM responses, and the light blue bars indicate the post-GSRM responses. So what I think is really notable here is that before the program, over half participants at 53% indicated not feeling at all or slightly knowledgeable in genomics, whereas after the program, over half indicated feeling very or extremely knowledgeable in genomics. Moving on to proficiency in technical skills. So again, this involved either a computational or laboratory component, and students were asked to rate their proficiency as not at all confident or confident to a small extent, confident to some extent, or confident to a large extent or absolutely confident. And here, before the program, 15% indicated feeling not at all confident or confident to a small extent in their technical skills, whereas after the program, 68% indicated feeling confident to a large extent or absolutely confident in their technical skills. Lastly, looking at sense of belonging, so students were asked to rate a statement, so specifically, I feel a sense of belonging to the scientific community, and they were asked to disagree, agree, or have a neutral opinion about this statement before and after the program. So before the program, 15% indicated that they disagreed with this statement, whereas after the program, 85% indicated that they agreed with this statement, which was a very significant increase. In fact, these comparisons that I've been highlighting between these extremes on each of these graphs were all statistically significant. So to summarize these results, there was an overall increase in students' knowledge of genomics, their proficiency in technical skills, and their sense of belonging to the scientific community. And these positive results in introducing numerous underrepresented students to genomics may give rise to the advancement and diversification of the workforce within STEM fields, as students may carry these three metrics with them into their prospective careers. In all, these results illustrate that the GSRM program is effective in preparing students for the STEM workforce. So, as for next steps, one additional intervention that I would like to assess is the impact of mentorship, as I predict that the overwhelmingly positive response regarding sense of belonging may be due to the close guidance of students' mentors and co-mentors. And to do this, I plan to conduct one-on-one interviews with the GSRM participants to measure the effectiveness of the mentorship that they received and its impact on their current career. So as part of the pre-survey, there was a free response question in which students indicated which characteristics they looked for in a mentor, and I would like to compare this against the characteristics that they actually observed from their mentor within the program. And then lastly, I plan to continue to track the postgraduate outcomes for all GSRM participants. So that's all I have for today. My name was Isabella DiNardo, and thanks for listening.